So starting in mountain, I'm actually going to take my socks off again. Today's theme is all about recruiting your glute. So we've been paying attention to our body, and specifically, we're going to be paying attention to our glutes specifically. Okay. So let's start just with warming up our spine a little bit. So standing in mountain, maybe wiggling your toes a little bit, lifting your toes and letting them down again, or maybe doing a little bit of a rock back and forth just to kind of notice that connection with the ground. And then thinking about that puppet string rising, for pulling you up from the top of your head, increasing the length of your spine, making sure everything's stacked. Pushing in with the ground to help you lift your head up towards the ceiling. And we're going to start with slinky circles. So when you're ready, just kind of start from one side and let everything go. Cross your midline and rise back up. Your head should be the last thing to come up, but my headset's falling off. Another slinky circle going the same direction. And then let's go the other direction. And one more in that same direction. And then we're going to try a ragdoll, just going straight forward. So leading with your chin towards your chest and then slowly rolling down vertebra by vertebra, concentrating on letting your ribs and vertebrae just dangle. And then when you get to the end of your spine's range, go ahead and bend your knees and rest your uh, belly on your thighs a little bit. And then slightly extend that your legs, not necessarily fully straight at all, but just to start to stretch that whole back line, your calves, your hamstrings, lower back. And then come on up a little bit, straighten your legs, and then super strong legs, vertebrae by vertebrae, come back up to standing with your head being the last thing to come up. Let's do that again. So we start with your chin and each vertebra slowly until you come to the edge of your forward progress or downward progress. When you get to the end of whatever range you have, bend your knees and rest your belly on your thighs, and then slightly extend your legs, unbend your legs to feel that stretch along your entire sort of back body, particularly in the legs. And use your abs to come up a little bit so you can straighten your legs, and then vertebrae by vertebrae come back up to standing. Awesome. I'll let somebody in. Okay. We're going to do one more of those rag dolls to get us down onto the mat. So I'm going to start back of my mat, leading with my chin. vertebra by vertebra. Then strong bend in my knees, and then till my hands can touch the ground, and then just crawling out forward. And coming down onto your belly. Maybe pillow your head on your hands and sort of check in with your breathing while your belly is on the ground, long torso. And then we're going to start to recruit our glute by lifting up our legs. So, starting with your left leg, just lift it off the ground until you get a little bit of air underneath your knee. See if you can maybe even reach back and see if you're firing your left glute. And let it go. And then let's see if we can engage our right glute. Maybe even reach back and make sure that that's where it's firing. There's other things involved too, but let's make sure recruiting our glute. Let's go back to the left side and do it again. Just a little bit of air underneath your knee and thigh. And then right again. Really focusing on contracting the gluteus maximus. Then bend your left knee so you're making a right angle between your shin and your thigh. And you're going to try to push your heel up towards the ceiling. So slight engagement again. Just a teeny bit of air underneath your knee and let that back down and switch sides. So bend your right leg, leading with your heel towards the ceiling. Get a teeny bit of air underneath your right thigh and lower. And then let's go back to left and do it again. Really try to also engage your core, your belly's muscles, lower belly muscles, to make sure that you're protecting your lower back. And then right side again. And then go ahead and come back into child's pose as a counter stretch. So find your child's pose. I'm going to let a couple people in and stretch out the little bit of glutes that we just did from a child's pose position. If you'd like to shift your, shimmy your hips a little bit, shift the stretch a little bit. Find your child's pose for a few breaths. Then go ahead and come out of child's pose onto standing on your knees and bring your right foot forward. So for low lunge. And really think about contracting, particularly your right glute muscle from here. So contract your right, make sure you're engaged. So contract and relax, contract and relax. And maybe see if you can get your left glute to go as well. Contract and relax, contract and relax. So when I'm reaching back and just seeing upper butt or upper butt, and when I see if I can feel it firing. And then both cheeks together. Try to keep your torso tall. Even if you're bent forward into your lunge, try to keep your torso tall. And try right glute, left glute, both together. Right,
left, both. And let's switch sides. I'm going to let somebody in. So left knee is forward. Um, you can go forward into a low lunge if you're flexible. A lot of times, if you haven't been recruiting your glute, you have super tight hip flexors, which is me. So be in your low lunge, keeping your torso vertical. And then let's see if you can engage the left glute, contract and relax. And what about the right glute? Contract and relax. And both glutes together. Whee! And come back into either puppy or child's pose again. And one of the reasons we're doing this is though your gluteus maximus is one of the biggest muscles in your body, there's so many ways we can compensate and not actually engage our glute. You can use your hamstrings, your quads, your hip flexors, your gluteus medius and your piriformis, your lower back, your abs. These are all muscles that you could be engaging as opposed to your actual gluteus maximus. Um, so we're working on getting awareness of body parts. Um, some of you have, some of you definitely haven't been engaging your glutes. Many of you have, and you're like, what is, I don't even understand what this is about. But particularly for those of us who haven't had a history of engaging our glutes, we're going to explore and see what's happening there. So let's go ahead and come into downward facing dog. And I have a real strong knee bend just to stretch your glutes a little bit from your down dog. And then go ahead and walk your hands back. Come on up to standing. And we're going to do chair pulses. So chair pulses, so basically a squat, but chair is a position. So starting in mountain, sticking your butt out, leading with your butt, coming back into a squat and rising up out of your squat. So a super slow-mo squat. So stick the butt out, squat down, and super slow-mo, come on up. See how much your quads are engaging? If it's only quads for you, then try to actually energetically push out with your knees, keeping your knees pointing straight forward. It's not actually literally pushing out with your knees, but energetically push out for your knees, and it should start to engage your glutes. So a couple more super slow-mo squats. And this is called chair position, right? Or, and you can actually try bringing your arms up near your ears. And we'll do one more super slow-mo squat. Now, if you feel like it's all quads for you, it might mean that you need to use a chair as support. Sometimes in this effort to overcompensate, we're using these other muscles, but if you have a support, it's hard to do it. It'd be better if I had two chairs to try to help that. Sometimes it definitely helps for lunges. So let's try that. I'm going to step back and with a giant step forward with my right foot. Instead of staying in the crescent, I'm going to drop the back foot for warrior one, twisting my torso to the front. If I want to have some support. That's perfectly great. And then try recluding your right glute, contract and relax a couple times. Maybe even reach back and make sure that you're engaging it. Left glute, contract and relax. And both glutes together. So just because the fact you can contract and relax means that it's easy to relax those glutes and not engage them. But if you have your glutes engaged, your foundation is so much stronger. Awesome. And let's switch sides. So giant step forward with my left foot, dropping the back foot, making sure that I can still see my toes, right? Trying to keep my torso vertical. Being in the lunge, you can do if you don't have a chair, you can do whatever you want with your arms, really. Let's think about left glute, contract and relax. Can you feel it firing? Right glute and both glutes together. Get in touch with your butt. All right, come on back again. Great. And let's try warrior two. Excuse me. Plug in my computer. Thank you for your patience. So giant step forward with your right foot again. Maybe even a little bit wider than the last one was, dropping the back heel. Instead of being in warrior one, moving to warrior two. So torso twisted towards the camera with the right leg forward, arms in a T, right? So from here, maybe even have your hands on your upper butt and see if you can contract and release left glute, right glute, independently at first, and then both glutes together. Can you do it? See if you can do it hands-free. Can you do the left independently, the right independently, and both together? Ah. Then bring your both feet towards the front. Switch your feet orientation. So left foot is pointed straight forward, the right foot bent in a little bit. Drop into your lunge on this side. Torso parallel with the rest of your body instead of twisted forward. Left glute, right glute. Contract and relax a couple times, and both together. So we all need to work on strength and flexibility, right? So recruit your glute helps you with your strength. Okay, awesome. Now we're going to try some balance poses. Oh, I see what's happening with my camera. Um, If you'd like to use some support, please do. We're going to start in, and this is where we're going to use this strap eventually. Start in flamingo, which is just bringing your knee up, either grabbing your thigh or the outside of your knee, just balancing on one leg. And then here's where you might want to strap, um, hooking the strap around your foot and extending the right leg. Try to contract left glute. Can you do right glute from here? And both together. And then go ahead and release. And here we go. Going into airplane. So warrior three. Bring your torso and your leg parallel to the ground. Putting your arms wherever state of fulcrum is good for you. And then baby squats on your left leg. 1, 2, 3. Then windshield wiper your arm and your leg. Ah, and go ahead and come up. Recruited your glute, didn't you? Okay, let's try the other leg. I'll put this around my neck. Start in flamingo and just kind of get your balance, either here or here. And then go ahead and hook. If you don't have a strap, just extend the left leg and try to hold it there. If you do have a strap, go ahead and try to keep your torso tall still, your shoulders back. And then left glute, right glute, and both. Notice how one side might be different than the other, like whatever your dominant hand is might have a difference. Go ahead and release your strap if you have one and pop over into airplane. If you fall out of it, just hop back in. If you want to use a wall or a chair or just stability, you can. And then 3 baby squats on the right leg. 1, 2, 3. And windshield wiper. And come on up. Yay! Congratulations. Okay, we're going to come on down to the ground again. So leading with your chin. If you were in a class together, I'd make everybody high five each other. Leading with your chin, roll, ragdoll down. And when you get to the extent of what your spine will do, hang there for a second and then bend your knees till your belly hits your thigh. And then slightly straighten your legs and feel the stretch in the back line of your body. And then go ahead and come on down to your mat and sit on your booty, legs forward. Inhale tall and exhale, bend over your extended leg. So basically the same stretch that we were doing, just standing in forward fold. See what you're stretching from here. Calves, hamstrings, glutes, lower back are all probably involved. And come on up and bend your right knee and then cross it over to the other side of your left knee and then give your left leg a hug. And you should start to feel a stretch in your glute area. If you're not feeling anything, you could lift your right foot off the ground and maybe cradle your shin like you're holding a baby. And then we're going to accentuate this into a more of a twist um, by putting a hand behind you. Inhale tall and look behind you. If you can get your arm hooked over onto the right side, you can really twist into this stretch. But I don't necessarily know that you want to. I like the idea of stretching this part of your body. And keep breathing, even though you're in a twist. And go ahead and release, and let's switch sides. Bend the right knee, and then bring the right leg foot over your thigh. Hug your right leg, tall spine, until you feel it in your hip, glute, hamstring, maybe even lower back area. And then let's go into a twist. Um, Put your right hand behind you. Inhale tall. Exhale, look behind you. Let's see. And keep breathing while you're looking behind you. Wringing out your whole spine. Go ahead and release. And then we're going to come back into a bridge position. So lie on your back. And we're going to do more recruitment of our glute with a bridge. So we're going to do 3 different bridges. When you're ready, on your next inhale, lift your hips off the ground, kind of as high as they'll go comfortably from here. And contract and release your glutes. Try to make sure your knees are still in line with your hips as opposed to flaring out. Contract and release and just see what that might be like. And then lower down till your hips are just skimming, not there's still air underneath it, but a low bridge, a super low bridge. And try contracting and releasing in low bridge. And then come up into your higher position and come up on your tippy toes and contract and release from there. Awesome. Come on down, shimmy your hips, release that a little bit, and then we'll do thread the needle or figure 4. So I'm going to bring my left ankle, crossing it over my right thigh, and then bringing my right knee towards my nose and grabbing whatever of my right thigh, both sides of my right thigh in this little gap I've created, either my right thigh or my right shin, or if this is uncomfortable for you, maybe even grabbing your strap to make your hands a little bit longer to whatever position of stretch that feels good. Then rock back and forth a little bit and see how that shifts where the stretch is. Find that sweet spot that you were using just moments ago and breathe.
And then we're going to move from here into a super easy twist. So this whole my whole torso is going to roll over onto my right side, my torso, my knee, everything. My left foot's on the ground, my right knee's on the ground. Whole thing rolled over. And then I'm going to let go of my thigh and bring my shoulder towards the ground. See if you can get a gentle twist out of this. Your waist. Come back up. Bring your hips up to vertical or your legs up to vertical again. One final little wiggle and then both feet on the ground so we can switch sides. So right ankle crossed over left upper thigh. Bring the left knee towards your nose, grabbing whatever's comfortable to grab. And then wiggling back and forth until you find a spot that needs stretching. Holding it there and breathing into that area if you can. Maybe find another area or just and then flopping your whole body onto your left side and then letting go of whatever you were grabbing onto and bringing your right shoulder towards the ground. You can adjust by putting counter tension on your right knee or bringing your right knee towards you or away from you a little bit more. And breathe. And then come back up, both knees up to vertical. Uh, Maybe shimmy your hips a little bit. Grab the tops of your knees for self massage. And then keep on holding on to your right knee. Straighten your left leg for stretch in here. Bring both knees back up together and then keep holding on to your left knee and straighten your right leg. And we're going to do a loving kindness meditation before Shavasana. And you can do whatever position feels good to you. You might try astronaut, or if you have a block, you might try a supported bridge as a restorative pose, or if you have a big pillow that you could stick underneath your hips. It's not your lower back. You'd say the block is underneath your hips. As a restorative option. I'm going to go ahead and sit up as we go through this. So the idea of getting in touch
with your butt is just to give you a little bit more body awareness. And that the glute is something, though it's you think that you use it all the time. It's so easy to actually avoid engaging it. You can do a lot of movements, even just walking, you think you're using your glute and you don't have to. So be aware of your glute as we move forward with the rest of your day. And the meditation I want to do is a loving kindness meditation. And the first step of it is to bring someone or some living being that you love into your thoughts. And send this person or entity, could be a pet or a tree, send this entity good wishes. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you be peaceful. Bathe this person in your good wishes. And then put yourself next to this person or entity or being. May we be happy. May we be healthy. May we be safe. May we be peaceful. See if you can bathe both you and your loving being in these good wishes of loving kindness. Maybe you can extend your good wishes to everyone in this class. May we be happy. May we be healthy. May we be safe. May we be peaceful. And see if you can extend it to your friends and family who might not be in this Zoom. And include all of us in the Zoom still too. May we all be happy. May we be healthy. May we all be safe. May we all be peaceful. See if we can expand it out even further, encompassing maybe everybody in California. May we all be happy. May we all be healthy. May we all be peaceful. May we all be safe. And then see if you can spread it out to every living being on planet Earth. May we all be happy. May we all be healthy. May we all be safe. May we all be peaceful. And then see if you can let everybody go and just have yourself in your thoughts. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be peaceful. May my life be filled with ease. Take another breath and bathe yourself in your well wishes, the loving kindness that you can give yourself. If you're still in a restorative position, find your favorite Shavasana. For the last few minutes of class, let's just be okay with giving others and ourselves loving kindness. Go ahead and start to lengthen your breathing. Maybe start wiggling fingers and toes. Maybe do wrist circles and ankle circles. You might give yourself a stretch and either roll over to one side and gently push yourself back up to sitting or rock and roll. When you're all settled, just want to say, may the inner light in you reflect the inner light in me. Recruit your glute and namaste.